everyone, I'm Lynn, and today I'm going to talk about a YouTube channel run by some people called Guardians of the Looking Glass. So a really interesting question here. And before I get started, please go and hit the like button. Just helps me break through the censorship wall, get me seen a little more. So I'm doing what I can to grow this psychic focus community, and I really need your help. Okay, enough of that. So the question itself, it says, Dear Lynn, I've just come upon a recently created channel by a mysterious group which call themselves the Guardians of the Looking Glass. Found it very interesting to watch the 3 videos posted in their channel, and I quickly became aware that it's a good theme for your blog. So this channel, they have 3 different videos out there. One is titled April 18th, 2022, which is Monday, and I'm hopeful that I'm able to get this uploaded and put together and released before Monday, or at least early on Monday. And the title of this video is the false flag and some things that are happening in New York City. So I'm trying to craft my words wisely so I'm not flagged. So I'm trying to obfuscate it a little bit here, but nonetheless, this one is an event that is said to happen April 18th, which is Monday. The second video is 2030 Singularity, 2 timelines, 1 outcome. And the third one is called Event 2, which is May 20th of 2022. And supposedly an assassination in Asia. So on the blog itself, I have links to these various videos. I would go in, maybe look at them, might even download them if you don't have time to listen, because I don't know how long this stuff's actually going to be out there. It seems like things get scrubbed continuously. And this person says, my questions are quite simple. Is there any truth behind their statements, or is this a very elaborated sci-fi story? And going into it a little more, in my answer here, I did watch the first of the 3 videos because I wanted to figure out what do they think is going to happen on Monday. And I wanted to get a good impression of what the message was. I understand this group sees that certain events, the premise of this whole thing is that certain events work on a timeline. And if the events are allowed to occur, then a certain result will happen in our timeline. What I mean by that is they've pinpointed key things that are said to happen. And if they are allowed to happen and they go through with their plan, then the next thing on the timeline will happen, just kind of like a domino effect. The first of these events is said to happen on April 18th, which again is Monday. This false flag is set to trigger a motion of events, pulling Russia as a scapegoat, pulls Russia into the whole scenario here. And from that, this worldly confrontation. What I first wanted to look at, and tuning into this and thinking about it is there actually going to be an event on New York City this Monday? Is something said to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it planned to happen? And, you know, we live in a world of false flags, but for now, the majority I got is going to be over in the Ukraine area. I do think that some of this deception will be brought onto U.S. soil, some of the shenanigans that they're doing. But that's not going to be until later this summer, more like July or August. I do get that Russia is going to be made to be the scapegoat. And when that happens, and it will inevitably, occur, it's going to even start the further confrontations and economic hardship worldwide. So I do see some things happening because of that. This is going to be used as a political power play when the fears lessen with the beer bug in the current situations in the media. So I get that it's going to happen. They're waiting for some things to die down now so they can just bring it back alive. They've got to keep that fear thing going. The goal is to keep fear alive and keep the government in control. So yes, something's going to happen either on the east or west coast. I didn't necessarily pinpoint it exactly to New York, but I got east or west, and I don't see it happening until a little later this year. So that's what I get when I tune into what they call Event 1. I don't think it's going to happen as soon as what they said, and I don't know that it's going to be exactly in the place that they said. I'm getting east and west coast. Those just feel so vulnerable to me. In the central part of the country, that feels, I don't know if I want to use the word safe, but it just feels less, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a target to me. The next thing I wanted to know is if this false flag event occurs, are we forever doomed? Because when you listen to this channel, they act like if this happens and we allow it to happen, there's nothing you can do. The wheels are set in motion, and X equals Y, and there's no way to skirt around that. I always think things can change. In fact, I get that a false flag event is what it's going to take for people to get enraged and an evolution to occur to stop these powers that were. So in some regards, even though these things are terrible that they happen, people wake up. Think about, you know, if you're someone who is awake to what's going on in the world, what it was that took you to wake up. Probably it was some event or some thing that happened to cause that. People don't typically just get up in the morning and they're awake to the events that are going on. It usually takes something to create that. And I get that in a lot of ways, these false flags do just that for people. If things are too easy and things are just mildly escaped because you got this explanation here or there, then people keep the illusion of being calm and peaceful and on the cusp of hope constantly. People just think, oh, someone's going to come in and help us, or this is going to change and that's going to change. It's almost like we need that wham to get us to really have our eyes open to all this. It will take the hopium being put to sleep for people to realize that change is going to occur because people come together and some entity or some person or something isn't going to come in and save the world. You know, we talk about ET interference. We talk about, you know, having positive intentions and these positive beings and angels and guiding forces. They're around. They're there to help us, but that's the key word. They're there to help us, but it's the people and only the people that are going to make the change. And then when I was putting this post together, I'd heard a quote, and it's by Henry Ford, and it says, you know, and I think other people have said this too in variations of it, that if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've got. Meaning, you know, some people are great at writing letters. Some people are, you know, there's passive ways to try to fight what is going on, but ultimately it's going to be those that stand out there actually doing the confrontation that are going to really get some change. I really see that we're at a point now where it will take some form or version of a revolution to get change, because the way things are now, it's so entrenched and things are so corrupt. But I got that some false flags may be what's taken or needed to take, you know, to happen for people to stand up. That was my intuitive take on this and what I was able to tap into when I viewed this channel, thought about the video, thought about, you know, what is to happen, what's going to happen. You know, does it start a wheel in motion that cannot be stopped? All those things. So that was my take on this channel. I'd be really curious your thoughts too. So if you've listened to this, heard things, you know, in the works that you think are on the cusp of happening, some big event happening in April, by all means, leave a comment. And through sharing and through our community, that's how we collaborate, get ideas, and it just further expands our thoughts. So I appreciate the time that you take listening to my videos, sharing my work, all that. It truly, truly helps me out. Again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.